If you missed last week's video, we shared that we recently had a very tragic loss in our family. Our beloved dog, Johnny Rose, was in an accident and passed away. It was very sudden and unexpected. So the past 2 weeks have been very hard emotionally, hard to be motivated. Thank you so much to everyone who has left so many nice, wonderful comments. You guys have been very kind in this very challenging time. We have accomplished some things. So let me show you what we've done the last couple of weeks.
A few weeks back, we went and picked this desk up from someone off of Marketplace, and it sat in our car for a couple weeks, but we finally moved it in, and this is actually something that is on our to-do list. So we got to cross something off. If you've been wondering about how Hazel is doing, she is doing well. At first, she was pretty weird and was looking around for Johnny Rose outside. That was a pretty hard part of this whole situation. Something we didn't record was building these little garden beds in front of the greenhouse. We've been meaning to do this for a long time, and we both just felt motivated to do it one day. Everything we planted in our green stalks a couple weeks ago have sprouted and are looking really nice. And also, all of our flowers everywhere are blooming, and that is just something that's brought joy to us. It has also felt like the plague around here. We have cicadas that have come out, the 17-year cicadas, and they sound awful. You'll hear them in many of our videos in the background. It's really, really loud here. But that's not the only thing that's here. We have come face to face with snakes and many, many spiders. Also, our stock tank pool is currently a frog pond, despite it having chlorine in it. No. Stop. Are you being naughty? Come here, I'll give you a pet. Come here. Oh. I literally could not believe how many frogs are in this pool right now. Hold on. I'm pretty sure those are all babies.
She got babies.
Can you take your baby somewhere else, please? Because if you bump her, the babies will run off, and then the babies will grow up in our house. So,
Ma'am,
we need to
politely
encourage her to scoot over. Yes, thank you, ma'am. Please keep going. Take your babies with you. They're all over her. Okay, thank you for your service. Please keep going. We ended up burying Johnny Rose with his old soccer ball. This is the tree we planted for him. It's a white dogwood, and we're still waiting on something to come in the mail for this area. But we ended up buying Hazel a new soccer ball, and obviously she was very excited about that. Even though we've been grieving and feeling like doing nothing, we were able to accomplish things here and there, very small things, but it's the small things that add up. And looking back, I'm glad that we accomplished little by little, because we still have moved forward even though we have felt very much like time stopped.
There's supposed to be a really bad, nasty storm tonight, and while we planted a lot of plants, there are still several that we need to put up, so we're just going to put them in the van. We moved the van and our other car over here where they're less likely to get trees to fall on them, instead of having them parked right next to a tree line. So, you know, it could be nothing, but we're just taking precautions. There could be like 65 to 80 mile per hour winds, hail, possible tornadoes, so we're trying to protect our plants.
Is that everything?
Look, no. Not all of these plants are for us. We are going to be doing some landscaping for my mother, so don't judge me.
Just got the greenhouse all locked up. We still have seedlings in there. I mean, we have a lot of garden stuff in there, but I have all the doors and windows and the back door closed, and I got the sides tightened down. So all we can do now is wait and see what happens.
What are you meowing about? Storm really wasn't that well. I didn't hear it. It didn't wake me up. We're fortunate enough not to have any damage. Everything is fine at our house, so we are grateful for that.
In my half sleeping, half awake state last night, I could hear the storm because I'm closer to the roof because I'm on the top bunk. I hear what's happening, and Casey has this little cocoon down there, and I swear she doesn't know what's going on with the weather. But I was like, oh, it sounds really bad, but I was falling asleep and waking up, and then I heard something flying around outside, and I swore when we went outside this morning that there was going to be a mess, but everything looks exactly like we left it, basically. So that's a good thing for us. Oh, that fits.
Sure.
Oh, there you go. Ooh-wee. Naked.
Like 8 years, 100 years. 26 years.
Well, I mean, you come off this thing. I'm not sure.
This blade has not been changed probably 7 years.
I will say, for the first like 3 or 4 years, we barely used it. You know.
Yeah.
Then when we moved here, we use it all the time. Bless your heart.
We have a really big project looming over our heads, and on a whim, I decided to start the project because I feel like the biggest hurdle for any big project is actually just starting. And I'm glad we did because we learned a lot during this time.
Wow, it's like butter.
On our to-do list for this year is to build our entire raised bed garden, and I think we're both kind of realizing that maybe that's not totally realistic. I at least don't think we're going to get it done in time to plant all the seedlings that we have. We have room elsewhere to plant all these things, but we were hoping to plant a majority of them in the raised beds. It's a really big project.
Do you have a new ball?
Well, I was like, we could just do 1, 2 beds. It's not enough. So you really need like 3 to fill this space. But you just did the middle, like the weird beds in the center. We could do them this way. Like you could go, but this still would be useless.
That was a problem.
Turning it around. It's like you're doing a dance with it.
Yeah.
I feel like that's okay, actually.
Yeah.
I think what was more of a problem is dragging the cart around the corners.
What you doing over there?
I had to borrow a receipt from Casey so that I can draw what it's supposed to look like. This is bad drawing. Because I'm trying to explain things to Casey and she doesn't understand. And she tries to explain something to me that doesn't make any sense. So we got to draw it down. We got to draw it, write it down. This is the shape of what it's supposed to look like. Oh, and then there would be like that. You cannot see. That was the idea. Okay.
Okay. Basically, this face goes like this, really. It's longer this way than it is this way.
Yes.
And
But you're just got to make it where when you look this way, it feels like this is tied into the greenhouse, but somehow also tied in over there.
Right. But basically right now it's set up for these beds to go
This
long.
way. Yeah.
No. This bed's going this way.
Yes, but you were
But it's
saying
gonna go
really this area is oriented this way, not this way. And I'm like, yeah. And the beds, that how we were gonna do them is like oriented this way, not this way.
Okay.
But
Sure.
yes, and then the beds are perpendicular to the direction that you're.
Right. But you're saying would that allow for would we have less beds going
Yes.
that way?
Yeah, so you would. I mean, I think you would probably keep that bed right there in the ground.
Okay.
Do you not want that?
Well,
I don't care what happens to that. Like, but we could turn this bed just to see what it feels like.
Mhm.
Obviously, you would have to have the one that was like this.
right.
Does feel a little wrong.
That's so weird. A lot.
That's a lot.
Well, but that's 8 feet. That's 8 feet, but you got to have this middle thing.
I say that I'll just go inside and do like a map it out, the new idea. We did learn some stuff. We cut too much wood before we learned some stuff. But
Look at these perfect strawberries.
yeah, we've had a lot of eaten ones.
Yeah. We've got a lot of janky looking ones. Blah, 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 doo-doo-doo.
Ooh, look at that one. We spend a lot of time working outside, and if it's warm, that means I'm sweating a lot. Over our time working on this land, I've realized that I need to pay attention to being hydrated, or else I end up being super fatigued and then I can't do work anymore, or I even get a bad headache, which is why on work days like today, I drink Element, the sponsor of today's video. Element is a zero sugar electrolyte drink mix with a perfect blend of sodium, potassium, and magnesium. It has no artificial colors and it helps restore hydration quickly, so I can keep working. I'm trying out the lemonade salt flavor today, but Casey's favorite is the sparkling citrus salt.
It tastes like a margarita.
If you're having trouble choosing a flavor, you can go to the link in the description, drinkelement.com/heywanderer, and you will get a free 8-pack of all different flavors with any purchase, and then you can try them all. Oh, that's good. That's really good.
Oh, that is good.
That's good.
It's up there.
It's up there. All right, I'm gonna drink this and then get back to work. Stay salty.
Most of our strawberries are like this size, but I just found like a perfect one.
Oh yeah, that's definitely the biggest one of these so far.
Yeah.
We've been swimming in spinach for weeks and it finally is starting to bolt, so we picked it all. We are keeping a little bit of it because we're trying to save seeds because this spinach did so well in our climate and we didn't do much for it to be this successful. So I wanted to preserve it because there's no way we were going to eat all of this right now. We've done a lot of salads with it in there and put it in eggs or casserole or like pasta, but you can still use frozen spinach in the exact same way. So I'm going to blanch all of it and squeeze out the water and put it in some of our freezer cubes. And it's kind of crazy because I felt like there was so much spinach, but it ended up only making about 12 servings of spinach, depending on how you're using it. But we're still happy to have that and not have to purchase that from the store. You've seen us picking strawberries over and over again, and they are just every day. We could be picking this much. We aren't super worried about preserving as much as possible because we still have strawberries in the freezer from last year. So we're going to put up some of it, and if we don't get to all of them, we're not going to beat ourselves up about it, but we did get a pretty big bag of them.
We have these 2 tanks of water by our house. I know, I'm talking to the camera. But we haven't had any way to use that water with pressure, like to water the garden right here. And this would be a good place to have that option because we have the Japanese maple garden in the backyard. And we also have like the elephant ear garden, and we have like Johnny Rose's tree right here and the chicken garden. So we're going to install something right now that hopefully is going to make that possible. Okay, change of plans. Our neighbor just came over to bush hog this area for us, so we have to go like move stuff out of the way. But this is going to be amazing actually. Wow. Much better. You are on the struggle bus over there.
Yeah, been working on that for a long time. That's intense.
I know it's huge, but we need it. Here we go.
No, Hazel. This way.
The fat, you know, the end is so fat. That's not gonna fit in the impact driver. I don't.
Wow.
I'm pretty sure.
I don't know.
This is our very organized PEX box.
It is nice to know that they're all right there, though.
I know. It's all together. That's more than we can say for a lot of it. Had to bring in the big guns. Woo!
Trying out this new hose. This company sent this to us. It is strong and light
We'll see.
and kink proof. Felt like this is not worthy of this nice hose.
Woohoo! How excited are you?
Really excited. I do wish I just keep thinking about how fast it's gonna drain out, but we needed to connect this too.
Yeah.
But it is nice to have a hose back here.
Yeah. We have 1,000 hoses, but there's a water source up at the greenhouse, so we down here either have to run water hoses all the way down here or use like, what are those things called? Watering cans.
Yeah.
But now we have one here. And then we can use this one to water back there or right here. So here at the house we have 2 IBC totes, but they're not connected to each other because this one we just use as a gravity water thing. It's not hooked up to anything. We can just like put a bucket under it or a watering can and the water just comes out because it's up on blocks. So gravity just does the job. But we want to connect those 2, and eventually we are going to add 2 more. And eventually this will be hooked up to collecting rainwater off of the roof. But that's just been on the list. But it is on the list to do this year, especially with our bathroom addition that is going to be happening. We're definitely going to need more. So the next step will be to connect those 2, but we're not doing that right now.
Okay. We have changed how we've done our chicken water probably 100 times since we've had chickens for, I don't know, 5 years something. I think it's actually 6 years. I digress. First I started out with the cups because, well, that's what I did. Our chickens liked the cups, but what I didn't like about the cups is they kind of get nasty in there and they're really hard to clean out. So I think I tried nipples at one point, but our chickens didn't like nipples. And then we bought some cups, but those cups were weird.
They were not like the first one.
They were not like the first cups. Basically, they don't even make the cups that we had at first. So they haven't had an automatic chicken waterer. They have a rainwater system, but that just goes into, like, I fill that up with a bucket, but we haven't hooked cups up to it yet.
Yeah, we ran pegs into their run, but we just haven't finished it yet.
So, but it's kind of a problem because, like, what I like about our chicken setup the most is that they can be independent for a whole week, maybe even longer, where I don't have to give them any food or water. But the water has been a problem, so we have to have our neighbor come by and like fill up the water bucket. But this should solve that problem. So
these are the new cups, and they're much larger to our surprise when they came in the mail. But also there's another thing that Casey bought to prevent the dirty water thing, because the chickens like to stand up here and make it dirty.
Yeah,
It's a little house.
Goes over top of it. So I'll see if that helps.
Yeah,
we'll see.
We also have a lot of new chickens who haven't used this system, and they all really haven't used it in a long time.
Yeah,
Ursula's the only one who would have used it, and so we're gonna have to train them. And we're like going out of town in a couple days, so we definitely want to get this done. Couple. Wait, why are you in here, We have to figure something. Oh no. Okay. I might not have it turned on. Hold on.
I think you gotta like push it.
There we go. Worried that last one is gonna be, it's not even. They're filling up.
We've yet to see a chicken drink water out of here, but we are going out of town, so I'm super glad that we got this all together. The weather has been so rainy and crazy here, and it has made doing projects outside pretty hard, but we're just getting back into the swing of things, and we are glad that you are here. Thank you so much for watching, and we will see you next time.